Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long was 1975. A YouTuber on the rise, reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long Boys Bros 1975.
Welcome to another ZX Spectrum vs Commodore 64 comparison video, or as I like to call it, Playground Wars. I'm continuing the comparison of games by Durell. Previously I did Turbo Esprit, and it was generally, well, you've watched that video hopefully, the first time I played Turbo Esprit on the Commodore 64 was shocked to see how bad it was compared to the Spectrum version. So I thought I'd take a look at Deep Strike, another one of their games, at least on the ZX Spectrum, where it had a really good sense of 3D and does something really quite unique and advanced at the time for the graphics. Basically, well, it was released in 1986, and I quickly want to add, look up the cover art for all of Durell games. They were clearly done by the same person, and they were painted, and they were absolutely fantastic, particularly the cover for Critical Mass, and the cover for this, and the cover for Turbo Esprit. Basically all of them, they're fantastic. Anyway, this is set during World War I, and you are a fighter. Now, unlike Turbo Esprit, you are in a cockpit of, well, unlike Turbo Esprit, you're in a cockpit of an actual bloody plane, but you play it from that perspective. Even though when I was a kid, I always thought you played it from, like Turbo Esprit, until I actually played it, from the perspective of there being a, you know, a character on the screen. That's not the case. That's the bomber, one of many, dependent upon how many get destroyed, that you have to escort by guarding them and destroying anyone who attacks them, with basically endless supplies of the Red Baron. It got really, really good reviews, at least on ZX Spectrum, and I played it a couple of times as a kid and really quite liked it, but much like Turbo Esprit, found it incredibly difficult. So yeah, Spectrum, Amstrad and Commodore. Didn't know there was a Commodore version. Playing this on my Wii, but the Commodore version I'm playing on my C64 Mini. So we will define the controls in this. 2 redefined keys. Thank you. Right, 48K, so once we're in game, you're not going to hear a great amount of sound, and there'll be background noise, but possibly the background noise will be better than the sound effects of the game. I don't know why they pick such weird monotonous noises for engine sound and stuff like the ZX Spectrum, but they did. Right, so yeah, so on the Commodore 64 we'll be playing on my C64 Mini, which means I won't be able to call up the map or use bombs, because that's what you can do in this game. It has an active map, and you have to bomb targets, which you command the bombs on the plane in front of you while you are defending it with the plane you're sat in, if that makes sense. But this is a comparison video for the general feel and look of it. So Q up, A down. If you want to have actual sort of true flight controls, then make up, down and down, up. But I tried it and now my brain just has a spaz out. O left, P right, fire, M, bomb, Z, map, X, and quit. N for no, because it's World War I and we're British and we don't quit and shit. Only we weren't the RAF in World War I, were we? What were we in World War I? I can't remember. And it's on the back of a postcard. Right, any key. There we go. Right, so 0, start game. Now bear in mind its age, like I said, for the sound and its crudeness, but also bear in mind its age for the fact that you didn't really see 3D graphics like this. There we go. Now gauges left and right, score bottom left, high score bottom right. One of those is ammunition, I think it's the one on the right, and I can't remember what the one on the left is, but it takes us off automatically. Keep your compass in the middle straight. Now that's the bomber. Press Z, he drops bombs. Don't want to drop bombs there. Press X, and there's our map showing, I don't know, but I'm assuming that's a target at the top. Don't know, never got to it as a kid. X to enter. Now down, up, left, right, down, fire. Now the wireframe graphics, but with the green behind and obviously the objects like trees and stuff. Wait till we get to like a hill. I was going to say a mountain, but it's a hill, isn't it? I'm assuming we're over Europe. But yeah, it will start to look like proper 3D terrain, and not much. We had wireframe games and stuff like that, but we didn't have ground that moved and looked like this. So sound effects. As you can see, the plane model itself is really quite nice. There will be attribute clash, but hey, it's a Spectrum. And again, the noise may piss you off, but I'm used to it. I'm a Spectrum kid. So look at this. I shot him down. I shot him down. This is it. It's a guarding mission. The only problem is he will take damage and he will die. And also, I think the low hills can. I think that might be me. No, that's them. The low hills can inflict damage on me. But the problem is, they will fly so bloody close to him that not only do they attribute clash out, oh, it makes it getting a shot impossible, which I guess is accurate to, you know, then. But also means you will have a habit. Oh, it gets pretty tits risky, mind. Oh, you'll have a habit of, well, shooting your own. Is that bombs? No, are you still in there? Yeah, shooting your own plane. Your wingman, the person you're escorting. It's a bit hard, is what I'm saying. But also, it's just, look at it. Look at the ground. I mean, towards the end of the Spectrum's life, we got a couple of cool games. There's things like Virus and stuff like that that had decent 3D graphics. You know, you had wireframe games like Star Strike and things like that. But this is a ground-based air, you know, game, which actually has proper 3D, and I guess it is wireframe, but it's the fact that they've managed to shade the ground effects, you know, and much like Turbo Spree, it doesn't. Oh, you know, it stays within confined to the lines. And while there's a massive amount of attribute clash, up Shah, there you go, that's what I'm supposed to be shooting. There isn't with the floor and stuff. Am I out of bombers? Again, I would have loved a 128K version of this, but, you know, Durell and the 128K stuff, that's it, that's because there's no bombers left. It's bloody hard, is what it is. It's bloody hard. I love a game that gives me enough characters to write my bloody name, even though I misspelled tits. And you can't delete. Right, so 1, change scale. 1, easy. I'm assuming we were on easy, even though it's bloody hard. So is it a perfect game? No. Neither was Turbo Spree, although it's a lot more competent a game than this. But what I like about this is the fact that it's pushing the, you know, like for a proper sense of 3D. Obviously, the actual character of the game itself, solid enough, just balls hard. But then I think, obviously, if you're on a escort mission, then you're gonna like accidentally shoot your bloke, aren't you? I don't know. I never served in World War One. Right. Don't do anything. Press fire, and you just take off automatically. So if you think about it, right, other flight sims like Spitfire 40, which have a gameplay up, have an absolutely incredibly impressive cockpit, which this does not. But, and while they were kind of, well, I wouldn't say they were proper, true sense of a flight sim like, you know, Sinclair's Flight Simulator was, but, you know, they were a lot more akin to, well, basically the arcade games, Spitfire 40 was, I should say, but, the ground graphics and the enemy planes, absolutely rubbish compared to this. Oh, I do like the plane sprite. I really do like the plane sprite. I'm just trying to think what other games on the Durell games had Commodore versions of, because I don't think Fat Worm Blows a Sparky had, but then I didn't think this had. Oh, you have no speed up, you have no speed down. We'll just drop some bombs. Screw you, nature, you're not the boss of me, man. Oh. But again, rose-tinted, memberberry glasses and stuff. I find the ground effects in this really, truly impressive. And also, I'm a horrible shot. That's them. Does that mean they're behind me? Because look, that, you know, strobing effect means that I'm being shot, doesn't it? Which is a bit stupid, really, because I can't speed up. Oh, hang on. If I go left, do I guide him left? It would appear so. So, yeah, so I'm kind of intrinsically linked to him. I want to blow up a church. Awkward. With the way I move. It's kind of a rubber band. Yeah, got you. Turns out there was more than one Red Baron, who knew? Best Red Baron ever, Aid Edmondson. Blackadder goes fourth. Come on, you know you agree. I think I have 3 bombers. See, look at that. That's cool. Oh. See, that's a bit annoying. He's getting shot to fuck, but I can't even see. I mean, I don't actually have a radar. Oh, look at that. Trench run. So I don't even have an actual radar to tell me where they're coming from. It's not that sort of game. Shitballs. We'll have one more go. Why not? Not the game. The game's alright. It's just incredibly ballsorifically hard. Shall we change? Yeah. Because why not? So anyway, summing this up on the Spectrum. It's impressive. It's very impressive. It's too hard for its own good. I mean, it is a little flawed in the sense that it's shooting planes. It's not, you don't want a true accurate flight sim or anything like that, so it could have made it so they didn't constantly fly in front of him. I know that's what they want to do, but, you know. But then obviously, I'm sure there are people who could absolutely hammer this. Right. So, right bullets, one of those is probably bombs. Hey, again, and also the sprites, the planes, they're superb. I know he was attribute clashing out, but it looked like he was on my side then. Oh shit. Well, there you go. That's how hard it is on hard, but deep sprite on the ZX Spectrum. Impressive. I think it's really, really quite impressive. Little flawed in the gameplay department, certainly not very good in the sound department, but graphically, you know, does a really, really good job, and something a lot of other companies weren't doing. Durell really tried to push things. Let's have a look at the Commodore 64 version. So here we go with Deep Strike on the Commodore 64 by Nick Wilson. Pretty sure Nick Wilson was who did the version, or all the versions of the game I should say. Certainly did the Spectrum version. So basically we have the same sort of title menu, and obviously since it's Commodore 64 we have some SID chip goodness. And it's pretty good. It's a really, really kind of jolly sort of rendition of, I guess, sort of the sort of music you would hear or you associate with World War I movies. But I've had a quick look at the controls, and what it does here is, even though I can't use map, the game, for all intents and purposes, is the same. You escort a bomber and you have to protect him from fighters. However, in this version, well, we'll save that till we get into the game. It's weird because it gives you extra stuff, but it takes stuff away. Right, so well, I'm assuming this means we start on skill level 1, which is easy. Obviously the screen resolution, which certainly you'll see when we get in the game because the Commodore 64 means the screen is smaller than the Spectrum's version. So, let's get into this. Here we go, we just started, we are taking off. You can see bottom left score, bottom right high score, 2 gauges which do nothing, compass in the middle. The controls are flipped here like proper aircraft controls, and immediately music and sound effects, and the gun noise is just, I mean, I know the SID chip is way above the 48K Spectrum's beeper, but the gun noise is superb. Look, barrage balloons, and they've simplified the controls, and I've still lost a bomber. Well, they've simplified the controls, so every time I fire, the tube bomber, drops his bombs. Which does mean, well, you run out of bombs before you get to said target, which doesn't really matter because we can't use maps. See what the target is. Now, the sprites kind of look similar to the Spectrum version, but I would say they're better, slightly better animated, and they're quicker. And there's certainly a lot more going on the screen at once. I don't know if one is a port of the other, because we do have attribute clash, which is something I never thought I'd see on the Commodore, but it's had to do with the low, or you know, the resolution mode, because there were 2, I believe. Look, see, I'm dropping bombs. I'm on fire as well. If he hits barrage balloons, he does take damage. They will sink him. Oh, hang on, me compass. Move. Is that why I lost my bomber? So it's faster, it's quicker, it's tighter controls. Hang on, I wasn't paying attention to the compass, so I think that's when my bomber's not on the screen. You will run out of bullets. Right, I'm looking at the compass. I'm usually on the smallest loop ever, but you know. So from a, oh, there we go. He doesn't come out until you ask him nicely. He doesn't come out until you center your compass, but then he stays with you, it appears. But if your compass is not centered, this is in World of Spectrum instructions for the Spectrum. See, the problem is I'm moving around trying to hit the planes, and that's why not paying attention to the compass means I go massively off target. I'm out of bullets now. I can only drop bombs. But yeah, so it moves a lot quicker on the screen. There's certainly a lot more stuff going on in the air and on the ground. Kind of. However, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Once again, this is something I'm quite surprised at in a good way, because I would say that this plays way better than the Spectrum version up to this point. But where's the wireframes on the floor? Where's the undulation? Where is the real threat of ground, the real sort of immersion of proper, you're flying over hills and valleys and things like that? I don't understand why this is not on the Commodore. Is this a processor thing again? I mean, look, I'm taking a match. Let's shoot at me. That's a new one. I can't shoot back. There were no trainers or hacks at the start of this game, so I can't put unlimited ammunition in, which I would really, really like to do. We'll have another go. But basically, so this is better than the Spectrum version in all aspects, such as, with how much stuff is going on the screen at one time. They're both drawn when it comes to attribute clash and stuff like that. It's got better music, which you expect. It's got better sound effects, which I didn't expect, because normally it's one or the other, and there's more items on the floor, but where is the 3D effect? Where is the wireframe? Where is this up and moving and threatening environment that we're in? The Spectrum kicks his ass on that one, and I don't understand, like Turbo Spree, why that's a thing. Anyway, let's have another go. Right, let's go. In case you're wondering why the music's all choppy and all kind of over the shop, that's not the game, that's me with edits and shit, because it's I'm running it on 64 Mini, which means virtual keyboard, and that's, yeah. So basically then, from what I can understand, but then I was trying to, go easy with the ammunition then. It's pulled horrifically hard. They're both tied on that one, but I haven't got enough ammunition to finish the job. And because I fire, did I shoot through him then? Because I fired, maybe you can, maybe I misread that on the Spectrum. Yeah, because I fire bombs every time I fire a machine gun, or if I need to drop a bomb, which I haven't actually got to, and then I automatically fire, I'm pissing through my ammunition and, my bombs at an unholy level. But again, let's rejoice at how many Red Barons I've taken down. Oh, hang on, I'm still, oh, he's dead. This is, like I said, this is easy, man. So he's probably taking damage. I'm probably not helping him. It's just because I can't see damage when I'm shooting him. I'm thinking I'm not, but I obviously, yeah, no I am. So, do you know what? This is an interesting one from a point of a comparison. From a polish perspective, at least the aerial stuff, with how fast and smooth it is, tight the controls are, nice sound, decent music at the same time. This is clearly a winner. But from an actual technical perspective, and an impressive, graphical feat, the Spectrum dumps all over it. It may not make it, a more fun game, but visually it just makes it far more appealing, and it's really, I'm on fire, really rather impressive. And I wonder once again why that is not in the Commodore 64 version. If anyone watches this and knows, is it a processor thing, like I said, because it's doing some sort of 3D effect? Clearly, I guess, and there's calculations involved and stuff like that. Commodore processor is not fast enough to do it, or is it just, I don't know, he was a Spectrum bloke, so when he did these, versions of games, like, just a little bit more love and effort went into ZX Spectrum version than it did to the Commodore 64 version. I'm not leaning one way or the other, I'm just clearly saying that's what it feels like. Right, we'll have one more quick go. Right, so this is just for shits and giggles. But yeah, basically, I'm going to give this to the Commodore 64, like I said, Commodore 64. But, for graphics, for trying something different, trying something impressive, definitely the Spectrum. Like, but that machine gun noise is both tasty and delicious. Did I just go, literally, I just shredded that bloke. I mean, obviously I could massively, just ignore the comparison side of this. Obviously, I'm probably massively missing a trick on how to play this, so by all means let me know and I might do a return to it. I just want to shoot some barrels balloons now. If I just do that, how, again, we don't have a map so we can't see. Well, we do have a map, I just have a virtual keyboard. In my softwick camel, if that's what it is. Oh, and I'm dead. Yoink. At least I took you out. And you. And no balloons for you. It's just kind of interesting that it does let you continue for a fair old chunk of time. Without any bombers, because look, my compass is... Hey, oh, no, it wasn't. Okay. I'm not sure why it took so long. Maybe he was late to the party. Drop some bombs. Oh, no one steps on a church in my town. Waits for the quote. Yoink. So anyway, there you go. Deep Strike. Commodore 64 versus ZX Spectrum. Let me know what you think. And by all means, let me know why it is this way and how to play it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later.